Hello, first grade. Here I am again, and today I bring to you Amazing Poisonous Animals. This is an Eyewitness Stories book that's been around since I was a kid, and I can't wait to find out more about this guy. Now, this particular book has quite a few pages. A lot of them are a little bit scary, like this one, or maybe a little bit froggy, like this one. It also contains a table of contents you can see here. And remember, the table of contents tells us where we can find out about certain topics. In this particular book, it is all about these poisonous animals. So what I'm going to do is there are quite a few pages in this book, but if you're curious about this book, you can find it in our classroom library when we all come back to school. So what I'll do is I'll choose 3 animals and we'll do a little research about those, and then we'll check out the back of the book to see if there are any more nonfiction features within this book. So let's get started. Why don't we start with page 14, Stinging Tentacles. Ooh, shows a good one. Ah! Stinging tentacles. Let's try this side. All right. The sea anemone looks like an underwater flower, but it is really an animal with poisonous tentacles instead of petals. Uh-oh, you're going to be able to hear Angie in the background. She does not want me to read this story. Too bad, cat. It uses its tentacles to paralyze fish and to drag them into its huge mouth, fumbling for food. This anemone is always groping around with its tentacles. Each one is lined with thousands of tiny stinging cells, just waiting for a big fish or a big toe to come their way. Whips of poison. When a fish touches a tentacle, the anemone's stinging cells are triggered. A tiny whip covered in barbs and poison comes lashing out of each cell. Now, here's something interesting. I think I recognize this guy. That's right, it's Nemo! The clownfish is not hurt by the anemone's poison. The two help each other to survive. The fish cleans the anemone and shares some of its food with it. In exchange, the anemone lets the fish hide in its tentacles. Pretty tricky. Wasps of the sea. Jellyfish also have stinging tentacles, just like anemones. The most dangerous jellyfish, the sea wasp, pictured above, can kill a person in 2 or 3 minutes. I don't want to come across him. Big belly, no brain. Uh-oh. The anemone is little more than a stomach, a mouth, and a lot of wavy tentacles. Juices ooze out of its underside to cement it to the sea floor. It has a few nerves, but no brain whatsoever. Oh gosh. All right, well, I want to go check out another part of this book, so I'm going to go turn back to the table of contents. What are we interested in now? I wish I could ask you, but luckily we'll go over this together in class too soon. I'm curious about the death puffer, located right here on page 18. Here he is. He doesn't look so scary. Well, maybe his angry eyes do. This tropical fish looks pretty harmless, but in its body is a poison more deadly than any snake venom. This poison can kill a human or a person in half an hour by attacking their nerves so that they cannot breathe properly. Ooh! I did not suspect that. Huff and puff. There are over 100 kinds of pufferfish, and all of them have the same amazing talent. When they sense danger, they suck in water and blow themselves up like a balloon. Look at that guy. It's twice his size. The blue-ringed octopus located down here at the bottom. This octopus is one of the deadliest creatures in the sea. It injects its venom with a huge dose of TTX, the same poison found in the death puffer. Now, luckily, we know, are these animals after humans, guys? No, They're not. They're just after their food and to protect themselves, and we all have to find a way to survive. Let's check out one more animal. There's something called a desert monster on page 26. I'm curious. Ooh, that's not much of a monster. There are only two kinds of poisonous lizards in the world, and this is one of them. It is called the Gila monster, or Gila monster, and it lives in the deserts of the United States. Oh, lives with us. Hello, cowboy. This big, slow-moving lizard is named after the Gila River basin in Arizona. Oh, look at that. He's wearing a hat. I like him there. A monstrous display. When a Gila monster feels threatened, or Gila monster, it throws its head in the air and snorts and puffs like crazy. Its poison is mainly used for hunting and sometimes in self-defense. See, guys, he's not mean. He just has to take care of himself. He has a southern cousin. The only other poisonous lizard is the Gila monster's closest relative, the beaded lizard from Mexico. You can see him here. They do look similar, kind of like my cousin and I. Immunized. Many poisonous animals are immune to their own poison. This means they can be bitten by another of their kind, or even bite themselves. That's not a good idea. Without being poisoned. Here he is. Well, that was a neat journey. Now, there are lots more animals in this book. So when we get back to school, if you're curious about this guy, or you're curious about this one, make sure you check out this book from our library boxes. Now, at the end of the book, I want to see if they have those 2 elements of nonfiction. They do. Now, this is interesting. Check out the corner of this page. That's where they place the index. So it's not like the index in the other books which had their own pages. This one they placed on the side. That's interesting. I also see a diagram, just like the one we had to draw of our animal, and you can see here that they label the different parts of the diagram to help you understand. This page is about wasps. And we end with this guy again. I don't want to meet him anytime soon. I hope you've enjoyed our book, Amazing Poisonous Animals, and you will be curious to explore this book at our classroom library soon. I miss all of you. Please be kind to your parents and to each other. See you soon.